It is one of the most welcome duties of my lifetime to present the 2008 W. Averell Harriman Democracy Award to the Archbishop of Cape Town, Desmond Tutu.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Madeline, for... You are very sweet. Thank you. I'm a preacher, so you are warned. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, did you hear the story of the little boy who went to church with his mommy and there was a red lamp in the sanctuary? The warning I gave you was because of what we tend to do as preachers. And the preacher went on for a long time. And the little boy turned to his mommy and said, "Mommy, when it turns green, can we go home?" I hope I won't have to get you to wonder and you begin. And they say it's when people shake because they think their watches have stopped. And perhaps as a preamble, I must refer to the extraordinary thing that you Americans accomplished on November the 4th. Just fantastic. You have filled all of us with a new hope. It is as if we really believe a new era is dawning. And you, extraordinary, sometimes, crazy. But thank you for that. Thank you for that gift. Thank you for that gift that's given a new spring in the step of so many around the world. Despite things that have happened in Wall Street and so on, people believe, hey, this is a new day. The things that we have been dreaming about, hey, they are possible. You don't know. I mean, it was such an incredible thing. I mean, we were sitting with my wife watching what was happening on Wednesday, and when it was Wednesday in South Africa, Tuesday night in Chicago, and Leah was sitting there, and tears were streaming down her face. And she said, "I don't know why I'm so happy, but I don't know why I'm crying." And yes, it was something ineffable. Really very close to how we felt when Nelson Mandela became our president. And you say it's a kind of sort of your Mandela moment. But it's a moment, if it's a Mandela moment, it's not just for the United States. It's incredible. Getting to realize, in fact, that we have this connectedness. that we're human together. That when you have hope here, somehow it communicates and there is hope. Hope. Things, the same things look slightly more beautiful now, you know. And Americans are more lovely. Thank you too for this prestigious award. And have you noted the glittering galaxy of former awardees? President Jimmy Carter, Clinton, President of Liberia, Aung San Suu Kyi, Madeline. Fantastic. And now I'm part of that. I'm an inveterate name dropper, you know. Sort of nonchalantly, or appearing to be nonchalant, you say, well, you know, the other day when I was in the Oval Office, they tell the story of an Englishman who was very fond of name dropping. One day his friend was getting quite browned off with him and said, Jack, why are you forever dropping names like you do? And Jack, well, you know, that's strange. Yesterday when I was in Buckingham Palace, the Queen asked me the same question. And so, you know, a few years ago I was with a group of young people, about maybe 1,000 or so young people in Bali. And there were 2 other Nobel Peace Laureates. And then the young people said, just tell us, what does it take to win the Nobel Peace Prize? And I said, you need 3 things. You need 3 things. You must have an easy name. Tutu. And you must have a large nose. And Bali is warm, and I had shorts, and so I said, and you have to have sexy legs. Well, one was really saying to those young people, Nobel Peace Laureates don't come dropping down from the sky. Any and everyone has that capacity. I know for myself that standing out in a crowd has only been due to the fact that so many incredible human beings, for too long anonymous ones, have carried me on their shoulders. And so it isn't out of a kind of modesty that I received this wonderful award representatively. And I want to pay a very warm tribute to NDI, led so splendidly by a wonderful, wonderful human being, Secretary Albright and Ken, I think they should give you a clap, man. Your motto is making democracy work and working for democracy, or maybe the other way around, working for democracy and making democracy work. And many, many give thanks to you for the splendid work that you have done in emerging democracies. We certainly owe you a great debt of gratitude for what you did for us. I voted for the first time when I was 63 years of age. So I had a great deal to learn about voting. And all of our black people would have had to be told and taught. And you did a superb job of work with your Project Vote. Thank you so very much. But that was not all. You then sent us one of your staff persons. She came as a Fulbright scholar, Amy Beale. Amy, as some of you know, was killed quite gruesomely in a black township just outside Cape Town. She was stoned to death and stabbed. And you would have expected that parents would be filled with a deep, deep, deep anger. The ringleaders of this mob of young blacks who had been shouting a slogan, "One settler, one bullet," referring so much to the oppression that they had had from many of the whites. The ringleaders were arrested and sentenced to long terms of imprisonment. Then they applied to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for amnesty. Peter and Linda Beale came all the way from California, not to oppose. They fairly supported the granting of amnesty to these two young people who had killed their daughter. Well, what's that? How's that for magnanimity? Oh no, that's not enough. They then set up the Amy Beale Foundation to try to salvage black kids from the squalor and poverty of their township. That's not enough. And then they employ the guys who killed their daughter to work for the Amy Beale Foundation. How's that for magnanimity? American magnanimity, generosity of spirit. I commend this institute especially for giving the Madeleine Albright Award to our wonderful sisters. Yeah, you could hear a pin drop as you wonder, but how come? What's happened to us that we can do this to one another? And we look around and we see Zimbabwe, we see we see the Sudan, we see Gaza, and you say, I mean, what's happened? There's a great deal of evil in the world, isn't there? A great deal. But have you thought too that there is a great deal of good? It's a fantastic world. I mean, we went to Darfur, and the descriptions you have heard of Darfur don't even begin to give you an inkling of that reality. But you know, we met with those internally displaced persons, and I said something or other, and they could laugh. They could laugh. I mean, living in this, I mean, not fit for pigs. But they could laugh. The resilience of the human spirit. And the men, you know, Muslim men were wearing their white robes, spotless. You see, where do they get the water? But human beings are fantastic. You are fantastic. Did you know this? Yeah. There is a lot of evil. You can't pretend that what is happening in Burma is not. Tibet. You go on, Sri Lanka. And then in Darfur, we saw people we hardly ever mention, the humanitarian workers. People who come, most of them, from well-to-do homes, who needn't be there, and they're there. And some of them come, it's not just one term, they come repeatedly to a place where women run the risk of being abducted and brutalized. Don't you think that makes you feel a little, hey, it's good to be human when there are such human beings. And there are so many that I would want to pay tribute to in Burma. I mean, couldn't you, as you sat there and you watched, and you knew the brutality of that regime, and you saw wave upon wave, saffron. And have you noticed the nice touch in the English here, the program, saffron. You have a smart organization. You saw all of those people. And you know, there are many fantastic people who could do something else, perhaps more lucrative. I met with some of them on Saturday, representatives of these groups. I've got to get it right. Jared Genser, Freedom Now, Michelle Pohana, Institute of Asian Democracy, US Campaign for Burma, Aung Ding, Jeremy Audrey, Jane Quickly. There are fantastic human beings. There are. Who put a smile on God's face. And we say thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you. And you know, size of nose, they deserve all of that. They deserve this wonderful award. They gave it to me because I did have an easy name and a large nose. No. Will you people, please, will you let me dedicate this to yourselves? This award, to say thank you for making us proud that we are human. You make us proud. You know, I have to lift this particular one. The Washington Post have been fantastic in driving, and Fred, you've been amazing in the op-eds and things that you've run. Thank you very much. Thank you. Whether she is here or not, and Lantos, please do know just how deeply, deeply thankful we are for what your man has done. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, Laura Bush has been amazing. She really has been. And the outgoing administration, on this one, they are on the side of the angels. We thank you. We thank you on behalf of our sisters and brothers, those fantastic people who have a regime that can be so heartless that when people are suffering, that they can hold back relief in the way that they did. But you know, friends, this is a moral universe. Eh? This is a moral universe. Right and wrong actually matter. This is a moral universe that says there's no way in which injustice and oppression are going to have the last word. Eh? Eh? We used to say that at home. We used to say to the supporters of a party, hey, you have already lost. Eh? Despite all the guns that you have already lost, and we are being nice to you. We are inviting you, join the winning side. We want to say, Aung San Suu Kyi, and all of you extraordinary monks and nuns, all of you wonderful people in Burma, you have already won. You have already won. Aung San Suu Kyi, we are coming one day to your inauguration. Burma will be free. Burma will be free. And allow me the extraordinary privilege of receiving this wonderful award that I want to dedicate to all of you beautiful people of that beautiful land, Burma.